Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukkake, your host. Our hero's convoy is being ambushed inside Treesbury again. Juniper defeated the Warchief, but not before he called for reinforcements. Quinny burned through his magic, keeping the townsfolk alive, and Butthole used his body to keep the mercenaries and zombies distracted. What will happen now that Chicolas Nage is raining down magical fire on all of them? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Fire rains from the sky as Ginny's trembling finger points to an owl who is sort of perfectly silhouetted, a dark shape against a dark sky. You can see kind of like large, outstretched, wings. And just those like piercing eyes that owls have that are like equal parts really beautiful and also just fucking like deeply early. Of course, early mankind venerated these things because it's deeply spooky. Can you all roll me not everyone. Those of you who were paying attention, Butthole, you'd obviously just been talking to Ginny about the ambush. Juniper, you just informed them of it, but I don't think you were actively. No, because you have ranged basically. Because where we left off, Butthole, you basically just instructed anyone with ranged things to take up positions and keep an eye out. For owls.
Juniper was going to the front, Quinny was going to the top and the middle, and Ginny was to go to the back and me. Right. I don't know how much time we had to move, but that was the idea.
I think it's safe to say, like, as these, because I mean, it's one of those weird things where as you're saying these things, everyone would be moving to those positions. And I also want to emphasize that, like, just because this airstrike has been called in doesn't mean that all your planning just immediately evaporates. It just means that it's not going to work as cleanly as perhaps you'd hoped. So in that case, Quinny and Juniper, Butthole, you're not going to get to roll on this only because you're busy giving orders. You're not actively looking.
Yep.
Ginny, though, will also get to roll on this. Can you roll me a perception check, please? If you are proficient with nature, you can have advantage.
Surprisingly, Juniper is not.
Whoa. Weird. Wow, that was an underhand, like, pitch to you on, like, and here comes the swing.
I'm looking at it. I'm like...
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Well,
good
that was
Lord.
It for you, I guess.
15 perception for Quinny.
15?
Yeah. 9.
9, all right. And
I know, I'm kind of like... Is that right? No,
Ginny,
this is right.
Ginny rolls a 1, so she definitely does not see anything other than panic. Okay, Tyler, 15 isn't great for this. So you'll see a glint of blue and a glint of purple in the owl's eyes against the sky. At which point, fire begins to spread from its wings as it flaps, and sort of like with each flap, it's literally like it's fanning the flames, and that ethereal purple fire that you watched burn the tiger down begins to rain down from the skies. This thing's wingspan is broad enough, and it is clearly magic. It's not like it's flicking sweat off. Like it's not like a good wicking workout where. It's targeted enough that like Treesbury begins to go up, and it is literally like watching a bombing run. As this thing is swooping in, it's coming from the north, and it is just like laying down fire, and all around you, buildings begin to go up. That said, because Juniper and Quinny, you were both specifically moving to watch for the owl. You've taken your perception. I'll let you both take an attack. On John Travolta, but it's going to be a disadvantage because you panicked, saw it, you're aware that it's there, but you can take a quick attack of opportunity as this thing bombs in.
My 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Yep.
Like 2 beams with 1 blast. So the first one, we were using disadvantage as a nat 1. I'm just going to reroll the nat 1 up to a 14. So that means that I have to use the 5 plus 8, so 13 to hit.
Yep.
And then this is the second blast. I have to use the 2. So a 10 to hit.
10 hit. Okay. Fair enough. Again, this is a panic response. This isn't like a slick, in your element. The blasts go wide. I also think just having watched Quinny, you specifically, I think, watched and tried to figure out how to stop the tiger from burning, and were unable to. So I think in part your misses are just the horror of realizing that this is literally raining down on everyone you know from your past and your parents and your daughter and your town, and you. Not great. So, Juniper, how did you roll?
I have to. I think I'm gonna have to use my mounted revolver going, and that's gonna be at range. I'm guessing it's more than 40 feet away, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Ooh, not looking good. Not looking. That's a 13.
Unfortunately, no. So
Yikes.
you manage to snap a few panic shots off, but unfortunately not enough to stay the swoop. Ginny is quickly trying to load her sexy new crossbow that Uncle Butthole gave her. But unfortunately, like any great toy given to a child, takes more work than you would think. Like Phantom was like a world-class sniper until he couldn't find his bow and got pulped. So it's just like, where is the safety on this thing? Oh, there's a speed loader. That's cool. I don't know how to load that. So she's busy like jamming that, and the owl swooping in. Butthole, you do get to do something. I'm curious to hear kind of what you would do. These two have taken their shot. They've seen the owl coming in. Ginny is literally you're just like facing her, being like, all right, like point, if you see an owl. She pointed kind of over your shoulder. So I think you're doing that kind of like turnaround thing. You can see the firewall coming in. Now this isn't, again, like I should be clear, this isn't, an Independence Day like car tunnel wall of fire that's completely inescapable. There are gaps, but it is just like raining fire. Incidentally, not like the movie Rain of Fire, which would have been a great analogy if that had ever happened, but it didn't. So,
well, the dragons did a line. It's
yeah, there's a line, but like, where's the spray? Where's the spittle spray? So all that to say, Butthole, you can attempt to attack if you want, but you also have a moment to try, and because you are facing the baggage train and all the farmers who are, shaking zombie guts and things off them, having done a decent job of holding the line. What do you do?
Man, they're holding the line, but we got more zombies. How there's zombies coming out too, so it's not like I can send them off to go hide safely.
Well, okay, sorry, to be clear, you guys have kind of like quote quote dealt with the current herd of zombies. So there are more zombies coming from the south that Crendon had indicated previously. There will be more zombies to the north, but the immediate zombie threat has been dealt with. So there's a hot second here. Do you want to roll me this? I don't even know what to make you fucking roll on this.
If it's for a snap decision, it's probably insight, because he doesn't have time to like math it out.
Well, no, I was just gonna see if there was. Okay, let's go with insight. But I'm gonna give you advantage, not because of any Moonhammer bullshit, but because weirdly, like having to make snap tactical decisions is something Butthole has done like a lot over time. So go ahead with an insight check, and this is basically just to gain more information. Like it's basically a cheap investigation. It's like just to gain more information about what your options here are.
Yeah. That comes to 27.
27. Okay, phenomenal. So Treesbury's in fucking rough shape between all the havoc you wrought by not checking doors and Ginny's traps, to the initial overrun of the town, to the fight you just had where like you hot snakes a building apart. You've like Quinny blew out some windows. Like it's looking more and more like a Warhammer 40k map's worth of terrain, or like a Mordheim zone, than an actual, like, these buildings aren't great for cover anymore. They have some cover, certainly more than they would have otherwise, but it's not great. That's your guess is that with this, it's seemingly this wall of fire is going to happen one way or the other, given that everyone just missed their shots. Out here, they're fully exposed. In the buildings, they'll have a little bit of cover, or you can abandon the carts. Those are sort of the immediate options, or you can try and stop the owl if you think you have a way you can do that. But so far, it is it'll be hard for you to do that because it requires a full like twist and shift to get facing the right way.
Yeah.
You don't have
basically
Resident Evil like hit down in R1 to immediately spin turn. Like you got to just like clank around.
Yeah, because the only thing he has that he could do with an attack is he could throw a blue flame at the owl in hopes that he could launch it, but he's also spinning, so it feels kind of cheaty to be like, and now I use a full attack action. I think
I would give that to you if you want to attempt it, but there will be penalties for blind, like turning in blind fire.
Yeah. No, I think he's the guy. People are more important than things. Just get everybody the fuck out of the line. He doesn't care if carts get left. Just he'd be like, triple thaumaturgying himself if there was time and just fucking announcing to get the fuck out of the way.
Right.
To everybody in the line.
Because it's been a hot second, 4 months for all of us. But we all did just listen. So I feel like I'm in it, but also have lost some details. Which building did you nuke with hot snakes?
Hot snakes. I nuked the general store because Quinny was fighting in the bar on the other side and kicked people.
Yeah.
Through
So
windows.
the bar is the most has the most cover now. So I would say like if you're going to direct people somewhere, like scatter to bar. Bar still has a roof.
Bar still has a roof. I'm assuming we cleared Ginny's death traps. Yes, we'll send them to the bar. So yeah, it's just like while he's saying it to them, I think he just like picks up Ginny and chucks her like she's getting out of this line first.
Yeah,
He's just
Imagine if
yelling
we-
at everybody else.
There's like a moment of Lex from Jurassic Park where she's like it finally clicks and like she hears a whirring in the crossbow. She's like, "I got it!" And then you just fucking chuck
just
her
throw
through
it.
a window.
Can you imagine if, if,
big fucking fire coming. Evil fire owl. Bar. And he's just yelling between fire and bar by the end of it.
I'm just imagining that like Ginny's traps hadn't been cleared, and it's just like everyone starts like moving, and Ginny's like, no,
As she's flying through the air, like no. All right, so yeah, you can see there's some chaos, some reluctance. Let's see how well the wagon train does in following your orders. Oof a doof, not great. With another one.
Oh, come on.
So they start to panic run. But and like I think we just have one of those like highly dramatic like Game of Thrones dragon moments for Butthole where you just kind of like yell it, point, look up just as the fire kind of rushes over, begins to hit the baggage train, and catches a few of the townsfolk in a conflagration. So they will lose. Yikes. So that is 8 folks get caught in the fire. And the baggage train takes baggage train takes 5 damage. So the nice thing about people packing a bunch of shit into these carts is that they're not like highly explosive carts. There's enough like burlap and stuff wrapped around it that they will start to burn, but they're not packed with manure like you talked about at one point, so they don't immediately blow up. But the baggage train is on fire and will continue to take damage. That said, townsfolk book it into the bar. I think Butthole, you tend to make it pretty clear that you can revive people.
Yeah. I imagine he would have told them it's like if there is a body that still has a head, keep them on a cart.
They're
and we'll deal with it
dragging.
later.
If anyone goes down, they're like patting them down and dragging them in.
I'd like to cast protection from energy on myself at this point, which gives me resistance to fire. If I can.
Is that a bonus action?
No.
It's a full action.
Yeah, it's full action.
All right, I'm sorry, my friend. Once we get to initiative order, you can. This was a weird surprise round.
God damn it.
Yeah.
No, I just want to like
that instead of firing your
No.
gun, but...
No, because I just like as soon as I see the people, I'll want to do that next round because so I can like,
absolutely.
fucking
Yeah.
like pull people out of the flames.
Yeah.
All right, so they're hauling bodies. What? I'm so freaked out. I need to know what's happening.
No. I want to talk more about what we could do next turn. All right. So bodies being dragged into the bar. The owl does a full bombing run. Quinny, Juniper, and Butthole, you are caught in this rain of purple flames. So I need please dexterity saves from all of you as you try and dodge out of the way of this. This is unfortunately not one you can muscle through, like you can't save this. only because after watching the infinitely burning tiger, you are scared. Ryan, you're doing some fist punches there.
Nat 20! Fuck you, fire! Butthole hates fire!
All right, Ryan, describe how you managed to dodge the flame. What does this look like from Butthole?
Butthole just looks up at the owl flying over to him and just yells, "No!" And he actually expands, just so there's a golden version of his godly self rises up and just shields him from the flames as they go around past him before disappearing.
Yeah. It's but it's a pre-fire version of you, so it like rises up and then fire hits it in the same places that the Reginald burns happened.
Yeah, and then the golden god version's like, "No!" and then shrinks down and...
Amazing. All right. Quinny and Juniper.
That was a 12 for me.
12? Okay.
Yeah.
23 for Quinny.
Of course.
All right. So, Juniper, you are going to take 17 points of fire damage.
Ouchie.
And Quinny, you will take half of that. So we will say 8.
I'll use evasion to make my success take no damage.
Sure. Sounds good. And Ryan, you don't have to take any because you rolled a nat 20 on a dex save, which is like, that's a ticker tape parade moment for Butthole.
Has to be inspired by a god at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we are back in our initiative order from before. Quinny, you are up first with initiative 16. The owl has done one pass. And has perched kind of up in a tree at distance. Like it's not like, hanging out next door, but kind of seems to be at distance looking back. In the distance, you hear kind of, there's almost like a sound wave. The trees rustle a bit as an extraordinarily powerful thaumaturgical voice just says, "Ah ha 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 ha! Yeah, so,
Oh, God.
listen, I guess you're in a bit of trouble now, fuckers." And you hear, you see a bright, sort of like reddish aura begin to glow to the north of you. So you got Owl to the south, Chicolas Nage is somewhere to the north. The people are hiding now in the bar. Ginny seems to be safe, having been yeeted through a window. What do you do?
I think I'm going to try and shoot this owl again.
Yep.
Yeah. First Eldritch Blast. 18 to hit.
18 will hit. Yep.
Okay. And the second blast. What is that? 16 to hit.
16 will also hit.
Okay. 1d10 per hit, so one of each of these. 3 and 8 for a total of 11 damage, and it gets blasted off of its stupid fucking perch 20 feet.
All right. So the owl is blasted kind of off into the darkness. You just hear like a whoo, as it happens. Owls don't make cool noises when they're hit by things. So yeah, the owl kind of like cartwheels off into the distance. And you sorry, one sec. I need to roll a thing. Yeah, you turn your attention to the sort of reddish glow to the north. You still have your move and your minor. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah. I think I want to stay on that convoy in the middle at the highest point, like Butthole originally planned, if only to be a juicier target than my friends and family.
All right, fair enough.
So I'm going to stay up there.
Okay.
We have pissed this asshole off by shooting his big dumb bird.
All right, and that brings us to Butthole. So you've just seen the owl get blasted off its perch. It's further south now, somewhere in the trees. You feel the thaumaturgical hit, and can see the reddish glow in the north. What do you do?
Great. Just for clarity of my mind, is the reddish glow like going to be on us next turn, or how far away is it in the north?
Far enough away that in Dragon Ball Z terms, it's someone who is building a thing to launch, but is not in. They haven't had their turn yet, so it's not like it's not a rapidly approaching thing. It seems like someone is summoning power to them.
Great. Love that.
Great. Awesome. Yeah.
Butthole is gonna start booking it towards shit. There's only so much this fucking guy could do, and it's not really great against wizards in the distance. So then he's just got to get fucking loud. So he's gonna just be sprinting towards the like away from the convoy towards the front of it, just so he can get as far away from the fucking carts as possible and the opposite side from the people. So if something big comes, maybe it'll shoot at him instead of them. And he's just gonna be like, Chicolas Nage. How you doing, you big old penis? It's me, Butthole. You had your big dream in some big dumb fucking city, didn't you, you fucking loser? Well, I took it from you. Why don't you come on down and take it back, you big sack of crap?
Can you roll me I want to say a persuasion? Or no, intimidation. Let's go with intimidation, because that is literally what this is. It's just in a roundabout way. You're not like, I'll break your knees. You're like, you're a dick.
19.
19? Okay.
He's got a lot of ammo to use, his Butthole's strength.
Yes, this is true. Okay, interesting. Great. So you start sprinting and yelling that. Cool. That brings us to the man himself, Chicolas Nage, Chaos Mage, who rolled extraordinarily high against your intimidation. And he just says, "Oh yeah, you did. That's fine. I can get a new dream. But you know what? It doesn't involve you, Butthole. This isn't really about you now, is it? No, it's about your dead friends. Ha!" And a fireball rolls towards you. And as you run, Butthole, there's just that moment of like, you're just gonna like plow through it. I imagine you're gonna just like try and bull rush. Like the plan was to take whatever hit is coming, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're running towards it, and the fireball's rushing towards you. You do have sort of a momentary flashback of Alan just fucking blasting you on that stage. But you're bigger now, you're stronger, and more importantly, there's a lot of very soft, squishy people behind you. But as you sprint towards the fireball, it actually parts around you, and there's a real specific thing that higher level mages can do, where they can pick people to exclude from spells. Alan learned it after accidentally almost killing you. And unfortunately, it would seem that Chicolas Nage has found a way to weaponize this. So having discluded you from the attack, it passes around you like water, reforms behind you, and rolls directly into Treesbury. That said, something fucking weird happens when it goes off. Because Chicolas Nage, as we've established, is a chaos mage. So no spell goes the way you would expect, in the same way that no performance goes the way you would expect from his namesake. So let's see what happens on the chart of magic. Yeah, okay. So a fireball rolls past you. You can now like see kind of who sent it. Like you can see him in the distance. The fireball hits cart A and completely obliterates it. Just like there's no way this thing can withstand getting hit this hard by something this powerful. So strikes that. Luckily, the townsfolk aren't with the carts. Quinny, you are with the carts. Juniper, you are also within carting range.
Yeah.
So one moment, please.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, it's not like you guys have been fighting for the last several episodes, right? You guys are fresh, you're well rested, you got all your hit
Just a
points.
couple of
I don't like
daisies.
fireball's
Everything's
not
gonna
fun.
be
It's much more
great.
fun to wield than have it wielded.
Than to be the
you.
welt. All right, so I need deck saves, please, from Quinny and
Fuck my
Juniper.
life. I think I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Yep.
Because... No. Well, I mean, it's good because one of those was a nat 1.
I rolled a 1 also, so I'm going to re-roll that. That's better. 26. And I will be
26,
using
okay.
evasion.
All right. Fair enough. And Juniper?
I got a 7.
Oh, Juniper. All right. Let me just roll out the rest of this damage here, and we will see what will happen. All right. And one more for good measure. Okay. So the fireball hits, blasts apart the first cart. What's Quinny, you managed to you see this thing coming. Again, you used to hang out with Alan, so I think you don't go to sleep without assuming someone's going to throw a fireball near you. So instantly springing away. Juniper, you go you're already on fire from before.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly making the chair kind of hard to manage because you've got hot metal around you as well.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you kind of spin, you see it coming, you flip kind of one of the combat wheels up, but it's not nearly enough. You're struck for 47 points of damage from the fireball.
I am unconscious.
All right. You were blasted. So fireball hits, blows up the cart, hits Juniper. Quinny, you managed to reduce it with all your magic. Huzzah, bullshit.
My bullshit, yep.
With that amount of damage, it is going to obliterate the cart behind it as well. So 2 of the carts are now toast. However, once it explodes, there is a bluish shockwave that emits from the center around that first cart as the chaos magic takes hold. And a bubble begins to spread out of that sort of first cart. Quinny, because you dodged successfully, I think we can say that you get out of the way of this. Juniper, you're unconscious, so you don't.
Yeah.
So Quinny, you basically get to watch this thing happen. As the carts explode and Juniper is thrown forward, time seems to slow as this large blue bubble expands. And basically it reaches, you kind of scramble probably. Would you go north or south, do you think?
North. Yeah.
As you kind of scramble and sort of scurry away, looking back, you can see it expand to encompass both the general store and the bar. And within this massive sort of shimmering blue bubble, time has slowed to a crawl. You see Juniper flung forward against the restraints in her chair, the chair beginning to sort of slowly spin. You see fragments of the cart kind of erupting into the air. You see the fire within the bubble flicker more slowly. And you realize, having hung out with Bucky enough, that some weird fucking chaos shit has happened. And it would seem that whatever is within this bubble is trapped in a almost like Quicksilver scenes from X-Men films, where it's just right. Everything has slowed within the span of the bubble, which incidentally makes you feel okay, because it means that anything that could be hurting the townspeople is slowed as well. But it's also some weird magic bullshit, which is not great for Quinny. That's his turn. Juniper, roll a death save.
Yep.
Very slowly.
Oh, that's an 8.
Your features begin to slowly twist and contort as the Juniper falls away, and sort of more of the Sheriff Moss, because again, Sheriff Moss can't ever properly revert fully to purely Moss form.
Yeah.
But you're out of it. You can't notice that, and that's all right. It brings us to Ginny. Ginny is trapped, flying slowly forward. She is going to see if she can resist it. She rolled really high, so I think we'll say she is aware of what's going on. She can't really do anything yet, but she is at least more aware of it than not. Which brings us to John Travolta blasted away into the woods. You hear kind of over the trees in a vaguely trill voice, just like a hey, chick, you really, God, you messed it up, man. I don't know what this is. my fire, it's all going slow and stuff. And you hear what almost sounds like a tisk 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 noise, and you get the sense that John Travolta is legitimately trying to figure out what the fuck to do about his part of the mission here, because now that there's a slow motion globe, he can't really firebomb things. That's not really how fire works. So he's observing the situation. I've been made aware of how often I reference cake on these podcasts, so with every fiber of my being, I just resisted a touring the facility and picking up slack. I just want you all to know that. I just desperately wanted it.
And then you let it out. So now no credit, but you got your reference.
Exactly, yes. But I wanted you to know I'm working on it. You know, it's New Year, New Me. It's a Seth MacFarlane school of referencing things where you reference that you would have referenced, so you can reference. All right. And that brings us to the top of the round, where there is a bamf noise that probably neither Butthole nor Quinny. Quinny, can you roll me a perception check at disadvantage? We'll see if you can actually hear this or not.
I will take the 2. So that's a total of 7.
Cool. Nope, you're busy running from the fucking time orb. Totally fair. There's a bamf noise, and all of a sudden, one of the villagers in slow motion starts to like drift, fully inverted, like they've been booted in the back, out of the store into some of the suspended flame. So they're very slowly moving towards it. They haven't hit it yet, but there is something rotten is afoot within the time orb. Quinny.
Okay.
I feel you, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to get off this caravan because Chicolas Nage is being a cowardly
You're now
bitch, throwing fireballs
with your deck
over the
saves,
horizon.
You're now like ahead of the time bubble. You're out in front of the caravan now. You're pretty much at the gates. Butthole is ahead of you because he's sprinting. But you are clear of this if you want to make moves.
Yeah. I want to cast Mage Hand in the bubble.
Okay. Yep.
To try and push Juniper out.
Cool. Okay, great.
Ooh.
I think we can say you just do that. It'll take a full round.
Okay.
Actually, I think we're going to say it takes 2 rounds because everything's moving in slow motion. But yeah, you're just shoving her forward and out. Cool. I like that. I am going to say that's going to be concentration for you, just because it's like more resistance. Good news is because she's in 0G in slow motion time space, like, and you're using magic in a space that's only constrained by physical shit right now, it's easier than like Mage Hand would have difficulty with this. But I think in this circumstance, it's fine. But you need to keep part of your brain on it.
Yep. After casting that, I want to run out and I think I need to take over distraction duty. I'll just run up to or past Butthole if I'm able to. In fact, yeah, I'll use cutting action to dash. So I will like optimize like my speed to get past him, and I'm just gonna yell like, "Juniper's down. We need your healing." Just the words are not coming because he's so flustered and worried about all this shit. He's not like, we are not in control right now. And so I'm just running towards whatever evidence I have of Chicolas Nage's presence. If that red aura is still around or anything like that, I'm running.
Red aura's gone. Red aura was the aforementioned fireball.
Okay.
If he's caught up with me, I could see where Chicolas Nage was. Is Chicolas Nage still visible?
Yes, he is. He's standing kind of just beyond the tree line. So it's I think you've been traveling for most of the day. I think it's it's kind of late afternoon. Or no, because you guys didn't rest. You just like rounded everyone up. So it's like
man.
dusk. Chicolas Nage stands just beyond the tree line, and as majestic as you would imagine Chicolas Nage, the Chaos Mage, would be. Like, think the priest robe from Face Off, but like if it was tie-dyed and like just decked out. Bunch of war trophies hanging off it. He's got a sarcophagus that isn't here. He also bought a pyramid. Like, he's got a bunch of weird shit just kicking around. But he is in full like eye rolling Nick Cage glory.
Great.
As he kind of like as magic dances between his hands. Honestly, he looks like what Mosifus Dirt would be if he ever got his shit together and then like kind of went off the deep end.
Okay. So then at Butthole kind of giving me my target, I adjust my run and I'm sprinting directly at him. Just Nage! Just running.
Great. Okay, awesome. That brings us to Butthole.
All right, how far am I from Nage?
Your movement is what, 30?
30. So
30?
I would have double moved last turn while yelling.
Double moved while moving.
All
All
right,
right.
it was at the end of the thing. Yeah, I don't know. You can tell
you
me.
can. We'll say you're about 30 feet away.
30 feet away.
So you could run up to him, or you could start making your way back, depending on what you.
I think what he'll just yell is like, if he dies, the owl dies. He's just exhausted running beside Quinny up to try to smack Chicolas Nage with a hammer. And he's just going to look down at Goblin Jr. and be like, get him. So Goblin Jr. can try to get Chicolas Nage at the knees while Butthole comes in with the hammer from above.
Great.
Alrighty. So he's got advantage on this first attack because of Goblin Jr., which means it will be a 22 to hit.
22. Yep, that will hit.
Great. And he's powering that shit up with the full farting golden butthole of his new weird magic on his hammer. So it will be doing... It will 16 damage.
Okay.
On the first strike, and then he is going to burn even more of his golden magic to just like hammer it down, and then it farts up, and he'll take his second shot.
Second shot. Okay, 1 sec there, sir.
Yep.
How much damage did you cause?
16.
Again? 16 points of damage. Okay, great. All right. When you do that, you impact. You reach back. And he does a and then disappears after the first strike. So as your hammer kind of rockets back, he has evaporated seemingly into mist and is gone.
The Butthole's just gonna turn around and look at Quinny and be like, I'm not a bad guy, so I don't say things like this, but if I were, I would kill that guy's family.
Somewhere Reginald Tingler would be so happy. So being outside the tree line, you swing, like you're furious. You can see zombies in the distance, but like of course there are. But there's no immediate danger from them. So you at least have that covered. But it's going to be, you realize there will be more after this.
Yeah, there was never going to be a no zombie zone.
Great. So that's a bummer. He's gone. That brings us to him. He has disappeared. Juniper, roll death save, please.
Question. I'm still in time moving slowly.
You are, yes.
So if less than 6 seconds has passed, would I be rolling a death saving throw every turn?
That's a very good point. No, you wouldn't. So you're good. You're good for now.
Okay.
We'll say that first one is from like the fireball hit
It's like,
you,
yeah.
knocked you out, and then time bubble hit. But you're absolutely right. You're basically in stasis right now, so you're fine.
Cool. Okay, good. Because I am so great.
You can dream dreams of missing townsfolk and worlds torn apart and collides. You feel the a coldness in your chest where Bucarius's blade impaled you. You know, all the horrible things that evoke death to you. But in slow motion as you
wonderful. So
forward.
just the pain just lasts longer.
Less pain, more just like your brain being like, oh, this, I know this. Bring us to Mr. Travolta. So finally, you just hear muttering to the effect of like, just sometimes you gotta do it yourself. And the owl sort of swoops up and over the bubble, and I think is just going to begin to rain more fire down onto it. So it's falling into the bubble and slowly drifting down. So it's like a shitty, horrible snow globe in there now. But you just hear him like, he's kind of panting, but just like, flapping his arms quickly, being like, you got this, John. You got this, John. Just staying alive. And
God.
he begins to rain more fire down. Upon it, top of the round. Oh shit! I didn't roll Ginny. Okay, yeah, Ginny is aware but can't do much. But begins to like slowly start to drag the crossbow around. If any of you could see her, you would guess the idea is if this thing drops, I want to be closer to shooting than I would have been. But I'm moving in slow motion, so it's I'm bummed about it, but I can at least set myself up for something eventually. Top of the round, there is another Bamf, and Quinny, you feel a tug against your mage hand as a familiar figure appears, wrapping a chain around Juniper's neck. You see almost the spitting image of Yumi 2. It is in fact her bereaved sister, Yumi 2, esteemed member of the Fries, within the time orb, fighting back against your pull, basically trying to like drag, like basically attacking Juniper within the time orb.
Great.
Isn't it though? So Juniper, I need a death save from you at disadvantage as someone tries to actively coup de grace you.
Yeah, that's a 2, friend.
Thank God it's not a 1.
Light.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Juniper's already died once. What's one more time?
Quinny, you're up though, bud. So Chicolas Nage has disappeared. That said, can you roll me an Arcana, please?
Arcana is not my strong suit, so we're looking at a tasty choice 7.
7. Okay, you're not sure what happened there, but this is close
Crazy
enough
world,
to
a
Warlock.
lot of magic.
But it is close to Warlock magic.
Right, okay.
Honestly, Chaos magic is better than Wizard. Proper Wizard shit, I think you'd be really up a creek, but this is not entirely unfamiliar. So he's disappeared while Butthole was fighting him. Butthole still like took a swing to make sure that he wasn't just like standing there.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone, and you can feel resistance against the mage hand. And looking back, I think you see this figure crouched on basically like on the back of the chair, like garroting Juniper.
Yeah.
What do you do? I
shout out to Butthole again now that he's kind of run up on Nage, and I'll just say, Butthole, Juniper, and my people, your people, we need you.
I can't just make time faster. I'll just get stuck in the slow time and you'll get murdered by everyone.
I was about to say that's fine. That's just where he's at emotionally, but just like people are dying, and you're the only one that I know who can stop it. Let me do the killing for now. I know you want to kill these guys and their families, and I will help you.
I don't want to kill their families. I get it. Go kill them, but if I go in there, I'm just out, and it's going to be a while. They could shoot 100 arrows and I die.
Someone is in there right now killing Juniper.
I'll be there in 10 minutes, apparently. Go find Nage!
And there's no indication to me where Chicolas Nage has gone to. Is that correct?
He seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, he's disappeared. There's no way for me to know where he is. So,
is in there?
What, using my eye? I guess.
I don't know. I'm not you.
I'm pretty sure it's an action. So, I mean, Juniper is full on dying, and our healer won't go into the bubble. I'm trying to get her out of the bubble, and a murderer is killing her while I try to do that. I got nothing fancy. And an owl is raining slow-mo napalm on my friends and family. I will I think I can split targets. I will fire off one Eldritch Blast at this person in the bubble who I don't think I know who she is. Yeah.
But just for the sake of not having to just be mysterious figure, like
right.
Yeah.
I'll fire a blast at Why Me Too, which I'm assuming stops and goes super slow the second it hits the surface of that sphere. And the other one up at John Travolta.
Okay, great. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
So for Why Me Too, that is 14.
Yep.
Or sorry, that's less, 12. And that's a nat 20 on John Travolta.
Okay. So one moment, please. What was your hit on Why Me Too?
12 to hit.
12? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So here's what happens. You throw out your two Eldritch Blasts. You are correct that like it's kind of like that bolter or the blaster fire that Kylo Ren just holds. However, as the blast arcs from your hand, you actually see Why Me to boot off the back of Juniper and Banff, failing to understand that this thing won't be stopped this thing will be stopped by the bubble. So your hit you don't hit her, but she gets the fuck out of the way and disappears. The bolt does get stuck and like slowly dissipates kind of over Juniper's shoulder. But the danger to Juniper is temporarily removed.
Okay. Abated or something?
Yeah. Temporarily abated. That's the word I'm looking for. Removed. Christ. Meanwhile, the other shot, you get a nat 20 on John Travolta. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And that's double dice, right?
Yes.
That's how it's been a minute.
Yeah, baby.
Not bad. 4 and a 9 for 13 damage. And he gets pushed 10 feet away from the sphere.
Okay. So, and sorry, you said 14 points?
13 points.
13 points. Okay. Cool. But you also rolled a nat 20. And as he's sitting there, like madly, flapping his wings, the strike arcs, and it's I don't know why I keep leaning on fucking Force Awakens for this, but it kind of works. When stupid Starkiller base shoots its weird like mini lasers that just arc through space and look like trash. I feel like double Eldritch Blast is kind of that, where it's like one arcs in, one arcs up. So he sees the arcs of these two things. So he turns to look, and Quinny, your second strike hits him squarely in the glimmering purple eye. And you hear an "ah, jeez" as it shatters. And suddenly, there's no longer an owl. There's a man who is being blasted backward, bouncing, sort of like blasted off the top of the time orb, knocked again like further south into the distance. But as the eye explodes, the purple flame within the time sphere dissipates.
Whew. All right. I am.
To be clear, is there blue flame or just purple flame?
It was just purple flame.
Great. Just wanted to be 100% on that. All good.
Right.
Beautiful.
It's a blue orb.
Yes.
It was purple flames.
Got it.
Not moonhammery flames. Different flames.
I am full on hoofing it back into Treesbury to get an idea of how I can help these people and kind of get us going. So it's like regular movement 30, cunning action 60. Just get me there.
Just sprinting away.
Yeah.
Butthole.
Butthole will run back towards the city because he's just standing in the woods alone, and that's not doing great. Are there any... This is a weird thing because he's not seeing Chicolas Nage, and the owl man fell where? far away from him, I imagine?
So Tyler said he blasted him back away. So he's basically fallen to the south of the sphere.
Okay.
If you want to look for Chicolas Nage, you can. You just need to tell me how you're doing it.
Yeah, that'd be it. I think Butthole would know Nage has got to be around. There's no way, because if Nage was projecting in the woods but sent the fireball to here, Nage isn't gone. Nage is just invisible or sneaky. So he'd be looking for, he'd just kind of trust his gut on, if you were a wizard wanting to keep an eye on this whole battle, where would you be? Are there rooftop spots? Is there somewhere with a hole in a wall that'd work? Where's the magical sniper perch that he could spot in Treesbury?
It's worth noting, with invisibility, you can still try and see that. You don't need, it doesn't need to be magically broken. They're impossible to see without the aid of magic or special sense, but they can be detected by noise. You can still try and attack them. So yeah, if you can find a spot you think he would be.
Yep. So Butthole use just trusting his gut. If he can spot anything that's weird, and while he's running, he will cast guidance on himself to try to spot where Nage may be hiding, which gives him an extra D4.
Do you want to give me? Let's go with perception, or I give you perception or insight actually, because I feel like with Moonhammer,
I think
lean on where would I imagine a thing could be, and
I think that's it. He's always strong and wrong, so it's assumption based magic, using his insight for this one. So let's see what happens. That is a 17.
17. Okay. You start to look for the tactical places that someone would want to control a battlefield from, and I think your gut, mighty as it is, begins to indicate to you that that's wrong. Because this was a panic maneuver. This wasn't I'm going to set myself up. This was a knee-jerk. You've seen Quinny do shit like this. You've seen Alan do shit like this, where it's uh-oh, someone got too close. So you're guessing it was a panic reaction, not anything tremendously tactical. Now, the problem with that is it actually makes it harder to know where he might have gone, but it also likely means that he's not necessarily a threat this round, because he may have just fucked off somewhere nearby. So that's not a ton of information for you, but I think it might be able to give you some guidance in terms of what you actually want to do.
Yeah, I think he's just taking his 30 feet back towards the town, and he's waiting for more info, because he's got nothing. In Butthole's head, he's if I try to heal somebody by going into that field, I'm in stasis. It doesn't mean I get to them in time, and it doesn't help me. If we kill Nage, that goes down, then I can touch people right away and heal them, because all his magic's touch. He can't heal anybody from a distance. Moonhammer's powers are close up, so keep moving towards where people may be if stasis go down. See if get punched. That's his strategy. It's not great, but this has been a shit fest.
Gotcha. All right. So sprinting, just full tilt. In your armor, it's always hard to hoof it, but you're running with the power of Moonhammer. Which means that unfortunately you're several feet past the tree that Chicolas Nage reappears behind, crouching, sort of chuckling to himself as his invisibility wears off, and he just kind of mutters to himself, "Oh yes, but next time, I'll get you."
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. the Half-Blind Prophet, Christopher Little, Sue 1, George Dolby, Lord of Bradovic, Orion Birchfield, Scott Garland, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Cade Peters, Richard Cranium, Anna Zed, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Acrix, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Austin Nut Powers Fry, Stabby Stranger, Roman Brown, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.